Good morning, day 53. I am packed up from Hemlock Hostel and getting ready to get a ride to Jones Meadow, where I left off 2 days ago. I have something I want to put on the record. All right, here's my pack. Oh, you can't see the number. It says 29.95. My pack weighs 30 pounds. I have 2 full liters and 4 days of a lot of food because I'm a hungry hiker now. And my pack limit is supposed to be 25 pounds. Bruce from Hemlock Hollow Hostel just dropped me off at Jones Meadow. And the Blue Blaze Trail starts slightly up the road. It's the same place I was 2 days ago. It is 8:30 a.m., so that is not a bad start time considering I was at a hostel this morning. So today I'm hiking to Flint Mountain Shelter, which is 11.4 miles, and the elevation change is not very much. And so originally I had thought, oh, maybe I can do over 14 miles because the elevation looks like no big deal. But because my pack is heavy, and because I read in the AT guide that there is a part of the hike that's rocky and strenuous, Big Fire Scald Knob is this 1.5 mile rocky ridge walk, and there's a bad weather bypass that runs like just down the side of the ridge. So that stretch, I imagine, is going to be more time consuming than an easy trail. So since I got started at 8:30, even if it takes me 1 mile an hour with this heavy pack, I am still at this shelter well before dark. So I'm feeling good. I really don't think it will take me 1 mile an hour. But this is the heaviest pack that I have carried. So that remains to be seen. Look at the nice rhododendron tunnel. It's very lush and wet out here because there were pretty big thunderstorms last night, actually. There was a lot of lightning and thunder that sounded very close. It was stormy, and I was pretty happy to be indoors. I haven't checked the temperature, but I'm going to guess it's around 60 or 62. Well, I left my poles at Jones Meadow. I just realized it. Oh my gosh. I have to backtrack. I've already been walking for about 15 minutes. So I'm just going to add a half an hour of walking to my day. Oh my God. It turns out it's a good name for me. Reunited. All right, let's do this thing again. It's 9:07, and I'm leaving the Blue Blaze, back on the AT going north, 11.4 miles. Still a good departure time, but oh my God. I wonder if I will ever get better at this poles thing. Sounds like somebody has a weed whacker going. I have never heard a weed whacker on the AT. We'll see if that's what it is. The fog rolled in. I'm at White Rock Cliff, and it is closed between January 15th and August 15th because peregrine falcons are nesting out there. I've reached the exposed Ridgeline Trail junction. I am going to take the official AT, even though this Blue Blaze would be a lot faster. Well, it started raining right after I chose the exposed Ridgeline Trail. So I stopped to put my pack cover on and my raincoat on because I was thinking once it's exposed, it might be windy and rainy. No, by the time I got it all on, it stopped raining. Look, the sun is out. Okay, time for the fog to clear out. I want some views up here. I don't know what these are. It's another trillium. I don't think I've seen this color pattern before. I bet this is usually a pretty nice view. Lots of sweeping views. Here's the view in the westerly direction. So that's the trail ahead. But to get there, I have to go straight down that. This is the first time I understand what that person meant when they said it was kind of a gnarly rock trail. So that's what it came from. Down to here. And then going up again. There's this bush here, and the flowers are teeny tiny. I don't recognize it. Can anybody tell me what the teeny tiny flower bush is? Another would-be view. These are such dainty little flowers. I'm trying to bring them into focus. There they are. So dainty and tiny. I've hiked 300 miles on the Appalachian Trail. Yay, me! Now that I'm at the 300-mile mark, I just want to take this chance to say thank you to Outdoor 76 in Franklin, North Carolina for saving my hike. I walked into there with stabbing tendonitis pain, and I followed their advice, and I have walked 200 miles pain-free since they helped me out. So thank you, Jonathan, and thank you, Rob, and all the folks at Outdoor 76 for helping me be able to continue on my hike. Turns out there are 2 places that have the 300-mile mark. And now I'm at the other end. That was definitely a slow-going trail, but it was cool. I'm glad I did it. I just noticed below this sign, look at this. Somebody has made the 300-mile mark with the AT symbol and a peace symbol. This isn't actually the 300-mile mark, but it's very close. And that's cool. I like that. I hear a barred owl and see a very cool tree and nice views all around through the trees. So I've arrived at Jerry Cabin Shelter just for a break, taking advantage of the picnic table. This is kind of a smaller shelter. This is definitely an old one. It's got some artifacts here on this sort of mantle, which that's trash. People shouldn't leave that, but anyway. This is the view from inside the cabin and the shelter, I mean. And the trail actually is right here. In this section, the shelters have been really right on the trail. A little further down that way, there is a bear box. The water is down that path. I'm going to be getting some of that. And then the privy is down that path. And I already went and used that. So taking advantage of the facilities here. The sun has come out at the shelter. Ah, this is so nice. Well, I'm leaving Jerry Cabin Shelter after having a lunch and little chores, and I sat with a group of 3 hikers who were a very cheerful bunch. So I've got 6.7 more miles to hike to get to the shelter, and the elevation gain I think is like 1100 and something. So this is very reasonable, and I'm very glad about that considering my pack weighs, it probably weighs 27 and a half pounds right now, maybe 28. I'm carrying less water now because the next water source is in 4 miles, and I've eaten a bunch. In case I haven't been clear about it, I'm basically walking along the Tennessee-North Carolina border most of the time for a while, like starting in the Smokies, I guess. And since then, I came from that way. I'm hiking along this ridge. It's pretty open and it's sunny now, so it's hot. It's such a big change from earlier when it was chilly and I had on a lot more clothing. It can change quickly out here. This is a very, very cool rock formation. Look at that. Here I am at the Big Butt bypass. One might think that this sign is a joke, but it is not. This is the view of Big Butt. This is the view from Big Butt. So in the first 20 days of my AT through hike, I hiked 99.7 AT miles. And on that 20th day, I was suffering from giardia. Didn't know that's what it was yet. And a stabbing tendonitis pain. And so I took 2 days off. And on day 23, that's technically when I walked 100 miles. Then on day 40, I crossed the 200-mile mark. So I don't know if you say that I did 100 miles in 23 days or 20 days, whichever. But I crossed the 300-mile mark on day 53. So finally, I am able to cover more miles. I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily able to walk faster all the time, though I'm definitely faster on the downhills now because my legs are strong enough for my knees not to need babying on the downhills. But the uphills don't really feel like I'm able to go faster. The big difference is that I'm able to walk more hours of the day, and therefore I can cover more miles. So I hope that eventually I will be able to walk at a higher speed on the uphills, but for now I'm feeling pretty pleased that I just have the stamina to walk more hours in a day, and thought it would be nice to record that on my 300-mile day. I just turned this sharp switchback corner and look at this beautiful tunnel. I love all the sunlight and shadows and the branches just reaching right over the trail. This is looking back from where I came. Wow. What's that noise? Anybody know? This looks like some slope failure that hasn't fully split, but looks like it could go anytime. Well, day 53, it's about 9 p.m. and I got to camp a little before 7. And it took me this long to feed myself, get my water, do all the chores. My tent is set up right next to somebody else's because of what the flat spots that are available. But I hiked 11.4 miles on the AT today with the heaviest pack that I've ever carried. It felt like a good day.